Welcome, everyone. It is 5:30. We are glad to see you all here. We are meeting on the Legacy campus in the boardroom, and it is the 16th day of February. And we will begin with roll call, starting with Larry.
Larry Jepson, board member.
Randall Bagley, board member.
Steve Norton, superintendent.
Roger Pulsfer, board member.
Terry Rhodes, board member.
Kathy Christiansen, board member.
Jeff Nielsen, board member.
Jared Black, business administrator.
Thank you. And we will have, and Chris Corcoran, board member, is excused this evening. We'll have the pledge and mission statement led by Roger Pulsfer. Please stand.
Our mission is to educate students for success in a changing world.
Thank you, Roger. First up on our agenda, we have Teacher of the Year recognitions. And first, we'll have Charisse Kuntz, presented by Principal Glenn Harris.
It's great to be here this evening to honor Charisse. I should mention we have one great thing in common. We both married someone with the last name of Kuntz. So we spent a lifetime helping people to pronounce that right. And this is a little lesson for some of our colleagues too. It's kind of like pizza. There's a T in there, but you don't really see it. There's a T in Kuntz. Kuntz. Anyways, we're glad to be here today and really to honor Charisse. Charisse was born in Richfield, Utah, born and raised and educated, and somehow she made it to the bright lights of Wellsville, Utah, and we're glad that she did. By my count, she's been with our district for 15 years, and she's worked at Heritage, and she's worked at Cayenne, and of course, Wellsville. You know, it really doesn't take long as you get to work with Charisse or meet her to know of her warm and fun personality, and her students feel that quickly too, and she builds a quick rapport with them. She knows she gets to know them well, even though relatively she's not with them for a lot of time during the course of the week. But they learn to love her and know that she is really one of their biggest cheerleaders. And she's there to help them to improve their speech and their language skills. I should say that she is a speech language pathologist at our school too. You know, and I've sat in many IEP meetings with her as well, with her students and with her parents, and she is so professional and has such a great warmth about her that she builds a great rapport with her parents too, and they trust her, and it's always fun for me to see how much they appreciate what she does for their kids. I do want to read something that one of her colleagues wrote about her. Charisse is an amazing teacher and human being. She makes learning fun. Articulation and language groups could be mundane and boring, but Charisse brings a fun energy to her groups. Oftentimes going to speech is a highlight of the student's day. Charisse is always coming up with new ways to teach and engage her students with activities and games. There's never a dull moment in the speech room. Charisse is also a great team member and co-worker. She has a very demanding and busy schedule, but she always makes time to help others with any of their problems, staff on students, and brainstorm problems or solutions. She's also very flexible and accommodating to all the teachers and their different schedules. But we so appreciate you, and it's an honor for us to be able to have you represent us as our Teacher of the Year at Wellsville Elementary.
intimidating for me. And I leaned over to Glenn and I said, this makes me nervous because sometimes my mouth says things without checking with my brain. And so I just want to say thank you. And I work with the most amazing people. And I know some of the most amazing people, and without good administration and without fantastic teachers and paraeducators and my special ed team, there is no way it would be possible for me to do my job effectively. And so I like to thank them.
I'll take the mic. You get the more.
Congratulations, Charisse. Can we have everyone who's here with her on her team please stand? Next up, we have Megan Porritt from Lewiston Elementary, presented by Principal Troy Pugmire.
Okay, so Megan hates this. I know that already. She's introverted and doesn't like attention, but she does deserve it. So hopefully this is rewarding for you, not a torture. But, okay, just a couple things. One, first of all, of course, she's our Lewiston Teacher of the Year, which we are honored to. I like how Glenn put it, that she's representing Lewiston Elementary, and she is a good representation for us. So she ignites students' imagination and instills love of learning in her students. I can give you lots of examples of that. I'll give just two. If you go to her classroom, you're going to find she and her colleague wrote a grant, and they have plants, a plant station where they grow plants in the room and harvest lettuce and all kinds of things like that. And then also we have, is it Trout Unlimited? She got another grant with them, and we've hatched trout in our school, and they are growing, and it's taken a lot more effort than I think she thought it was going to have to. But this is just an example of some of the things that she does to make learning fun. Something else also about Megan is she is always going up and beyond what is required of a teacher, which is typical of a teacher, isn't it? She has helped us with our tag meetings, like a lot. I'd say it's my first time in my career that we really truly have an effective tag, and that's for those of you that don't know what tag is. It's meetings to meet the needs of kids. So she also is often meeting with her team and others, trying to make things better for the school. So there's no question that Megan is making a difference at Lewiston Elementary and making a difference in the lives of students, and in a way that can't be measured. So I'd like again to introduce Megan Porritt as the Teacher of the Year.
Thank you so much. I didn't know I was going to have to talk. So I guess first, I don't know, I have a very supportive people in my life that I really appreciate. I have parents that raised me to work hard, and I appreciate them. I have a husband who spends way more time than he would like, because he lets me know that at the school. I have supportive administration. I have a fantastic team member to work with, and I have amazing people at Lewiston. When I started teaching, I was hoping that I would be able to help kids, and they sure helped me, but I didn't know I'd be gaining a second family, so I really appreciate it. It's a great honor. Thank you.
Congratulations, Megan. Can we have everyone who's here with Megan's team please stand? Next up, we have Hannah Kobaby. How do you say that? Kobaby. From Providence Elementary, presented by Principal Jeff Keck.
It's a pleasure to be here with Hannah tonight. Hannah is a fantastic person. Everybody that talks about Hannah will say that she's an amazing teacher, but more on top of that for me is that she's an even better person. Hannah has spent a lot of time in the River Heights and Providence community, teaching preschool, preparing kids to come to our schools before she came to be a teacher in Cache District. She spent some time at River Heights. We were lucky enough to pick her up as a first grade teacher last year. One thing that I really like about Hannah is she gives me courtesy laughs for my jokes. She's always very positive. It didn't take long for her colleagues and the parents in the community to see her dedication to her job and to the kids. She's a model of kindness. You won't find anybody that's more kind. And sometimes I think she feels like a therapist because everybody comes to her for help and to spill their guts and let her know everything that's going on in their lives. And so she's just that kind of person that will listen and support whoever is in her room in her life. And that's what a lot of people love about her, is that she engages in authentic conversation with everyone, and she will always be genuine. She, with her students, one thing that I love is that she helps them to set goals and then empowers them to reach them. She's an amazing person, amazing teacher. We're thrilled to have her at Providence. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. I'm truly humbled to be here. I love what I do, and I'm blessed to be one of the people that gets to do what I love. I'm really grateful for supportive people in my life, family, wonderful people at Providence, and yeah, I'm just really grateful. Thank you.
I should mention that if you haven't listened to the world famous podcast, Hannah is someone that you can hear on the podcast.
She hasn't listened to herself yet.
Congratulations, Hannah. Can we have everyone from Hannah's team please stand?
Till the very end. Okay? All right.
Next up, we have our recognition of a super supporter of public education in our district. This presentation will be done by Tim Smith, and I'll let Tim introduce who our special person is.
All right. It's an absolute pleasure for me to be here tonight to be able to present Terry Lewis as a super supporter of education. I've been in the school district since 2006, and I think Terry arrived in 2008. And I've had the opportunity to observe her as a school administrator, as an advisor to the Cache Education Foundation, and now as a board member. And she is absolutely fantastic. I've been thinking about what makes her so special and why she seems to be able to do this job with grace and ease. She's had great predecessors, but she's added a magical element to this job that is just amazing to watch. And the thing that keeps coming to mind of why she's able to do that is I think she has a teacher's heart. And I think that's inherited a little bit, and we appreciate that we have that kind of individual leading our foundation and appreciate all that she does. I'm going to have Joan Mahoney come up for just a few minutes. Joan is the president of the Cash Education Foundation Board and has worked alongside Terry for many years. And Joan is just going to share a few comments about Terry.
Thank you. Well, if this was a hats off nomination, we always look for teachers that go above and beyond. In this case, it would be exceptional. We recently asked Terry to put together update the job description. So I'd just like to share with you what all Terry does. For regular tasks, receive and process donations, regular meetings, puts together the materials, schedules them, notifies the members, follows up on phone calls, meets with potential donors, meet with people that the school district and Deloy Hansen send over, meet with other districts that Deloy requests, provide handouts and present information needed, prepare and manage all grants, tools for schools, incentives for excellence technology, Just My Wish Gifted and Talented, Just My Wish Media, Daniel Robert Lynch Art Grants, prepare materials for review, notify award recipients, prepare checks, certificates, plaques, prepare and manage other funds, models for excellence, principals, trust, etc., search and apply for grants online, manage all scholarships, 18, prepare for selection, prepare checks, certificates, plaques, attend award ceremonies. Some scholarships are paid over a series of years. Manage all awards, hats off, Bill Lindauer, Belva Hansen, prepare for selection, prepare checks, certificates, plaques, attend award ceremonies. Attend other school and business events for exposure, Toyota Trunk or Treat, and high school parades. Does end-of-month reports. Student support, principal request. Deseret Industries meets with parents to help with clothing, etc. Finds funds for eyewear needs, etc. KSL's Quarters for Christmas. Process gift cards, distribute to schools, and believe me, there are loads of them. Cache County School District Administrative Support, principal needs matching with donors. Then we have fundraising. Manages and assists with all fundraising efforts, recognition and acknowledgement for the foundation, annual Driving for Education golf tournament, annual Christmas tree jubilee. Directs and manages events as directed by the foundation board, serves as a member of the Deloy Hansen Charitable Support Trust. Then we have management and administration. Provides leadership in developing strategic organizational and financial plans with the board of directors, carry out plans and policies as authorized by the board, maintains a working knowledge of significant developments and trends in philanthropy and education foundations in general, maintains fiscal responsibility for the annual budget, assists the Cash Education Foundation treasurer in providing financial oversight to the board, provides donation receipts for in-kind and cash donations, takes an active role in member organizations such as the Cash Chamber of Commerce and Utah Association of Public Foundations, reviews, screens, and manages fundraising opportunities and programs in conjunction with the executive committee. Then we have board relations and board communications, and that's all related to board meetings. And then we have public relations and communications, helps develop and implement marketing and communications plan approved by the board, establishes and strengthens working relations with Cache County School District administrators and teachers in the community. And there's more, so I won't, you kind of get the idea that Terry has been absolutely amazing. We're fortunate that she's been with us for 14 years. I have been with her for 14 years and can attest to all that is in this, that she does all this and even more. So, congratulations.
Thank you, Joan. We appreciate that. I'm going to read just a little piece that Jenda put together, and she did a fabulous job describing some of the activities that and characteristics of Terry. From her earliest childhood memories, Terry Lewis recalls her parents, her mother's with her this evening, teaching two valuable lessons. First, that education was important, and second, that helping others was the right thing to do. She observed her father and mother, both educators, spend their own money to help children in schools where they worked. My dad would call home and say, I need a size 5 kid's shoe for a boy, and I need a dress in a size 10. Terry remembers it was very easy for me to grasp that education and helping others were both connected. Terry grew up in Tremonton and graduated from Box Elder High School before pursuing a bachelor's degree in business with an emphasis in human resources from Utah State University. Upon graduation, she began looking for a job in education until she happened upon an online ad for a fundraising educational position. She applied and was offered the job working for what is now known as the Cash Education Foundation. I know they interviewed a lot of people, she remembers. I was lucky. I think we were lucky. She started in November of 2008. Over the last 14 years, Terry has become a familiar face in our community. I love this description. Fun, fearless, and friendly. She is tireless in her efforts to gather donations and funds to benefit Cache County schools, teachers, and students. She understands the importance of building relationships with local businesses, organizations, and philanthropists, let alone educators. These crucial partnerships have enabled Terry to greatly magnify the impact of the Cache Education Foundation. For example, when Terry began in 2008, the annual golf tournament fundraiser was bringing in about $8,000. Terry observed that only a few teachers were volunteering to come to the event. She began recruiting and encouraging attendance, and the result is now that each year there are teachers and administrators thanking golfers for their support at every hole on the course. Additionally, Terry worked to secure sponsors for the tournament. I wasn't afraid to reach out and get to know people, she says, and then in turn ask for some support. Because of these efforts and the incredible generosity of our community, last year's Driving for Education golf tournament brought in over $30,000. I have to just throw in an ad-lib story. I think I remember one of my fondest memories is the year that Terry jumped in the creek at Birch Creek Golf Course because somebody said they would give more money to the foundation. And I knew at that moment she was all in, literally. These proceeds go towards Tools for Schools grants, and if you've ever been involved in those, I think we're up over $250,000 or $300,000. And each year Terry goes into hundreds of classrooms in our school district delivering Tools for Schools awards. These are $300 awards for student or teachers, and it's amazing to accompany her in that process. Each year, hundreds of teachers and their students benefit from Tools of Schools grants. Terry is also responsible for the foundation's other annual fundraising event, the Christmas Tree Jubilee. When I started, there was one fundraiser, and that was it. We really needed something else, she recalls. I thought there's more money out there. There's got to be something fun. At the time, Terry was on the board of the Utah Association of Public Schools Foundations, and she noticed that the Weber Foundation was doing a Christmas Tree Jubilee. Thinking it was a great opportunity to spread holiday cheer and also to raise additional funds, Terry planned, organized, and held the first Cache Education Foundation Christmas Tree Jubilee in 2015. In its inaugural year, around $25,000 was raised. Since then, the Jubilee has grown in support and popularity, more than doubling the amount raised, bringing in over $51,000 of proceeds from this past December's event. And that's been fun to watch, her efforts there. She's just unflappable and persistent, and just she doesn't slow down on things like that, and believes she can do anything. 100% of the funds that Terry helps to gather for the Cache Education Foundation goes towards grants, awards, and scholarships for Cache County schools, teachers, and students. This is the number that'll blow you away. Last year, an incredible $1.6 million came into the foundation from generous community donors and supporters. Everybody comes together, Terry says. It's a team effort. and amazing things are accomplished because of that team effort. It's incredible. The people who are lucky enough to work with Terry think that she is pretty incredible too. This is a quote, "I'm impressed with Terry's organization, her ability to juggle many jobs at one time, her attention to detail, timelines in getting things done, commitment, and her upbeat, positive personality," shared Cash Education Foundation President Joan Mahoney. Terry is the epitome of dedication. On behalf of the hundreds of educators, I would say possibly thousands, and students definitely thousands of students who benefit from her work every single year, we are honored to recognize Terry Lewis as a super supporter of education. Thank you, Terry, for all you do for the students and staff at the Cash Education Foundation. I'm just going to ad-lib one more thing. In addition to having Terry's beautiful mother here this evening to accompany her, she's a buy one, get one free. And Brett, her husband, I have witnessed him spending hours and hours behind the scenes helping her do the heavy lifting in this district. And Brett, we really appreciate your efforts as well.
I'm overwhelmed. I'm so grateful. But I can tell you one truth. You could take the name Terry out of everything that was said, and you could add Joan Mahoney, Brett Lewis, Regan Wheeler, Cam. You could add any name in this room and replace it with mine, because it really is a group effort, a team effort. And I've been grateful and lucky to be surrounded by such wonderful people. My family, Brett, like Tim said, has been a huge support, and often when I stand up to thank crowds for coming and donating, I forget him. So thank you, Brett, for all you do. And of course, my mom, my parents, like they mentioned, they're both in education, and so I learned firsthand the importance and the value of helping others. But I'm certainly grateful for our board members. They are tireless, hardworking individuals that give great insight, and they're not paid. So they are really the ones that we really need to recognize. And of course, I value my relationship that I have with the administrative group and all of the staff. The teachers are wonderful, the principals are wonderful, the students are great. I just appreciate you so much, and I love and admire you all. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much.
On behalf of the Cache County School District, we want to present this unique landscape painting. It was done by Lester Lee, one of our art teacher at Skyview High School, and he's doing a different painting for every super supporter this year. So no one else has one like that. Thank you so much for all you do.
Congratulations, Joel.
Thank you so much.
Could we have those people who are here in support of Terry stand? We know it takes a village to do this, and we appreciate you as.
Okay, we've reached the end of our recognitions part of our agenda. We're moving on to business, and you're welcome to stay, but if you want a moment to escape, this is it.
Thank you.
We love her.
Told you. Oh, yeah. Next up, we have our public input section of our meeting. And we welcome public input from any patron during our regular board meetings because we feel feedback is an important part of being responsive to our public. While we on the board are unable to respond to public input during a board meeting, we have district administrators who are here to speak with whoever would like additional feedback and respond to questions in a conference room adjacent to the boardroom here. Board meetings are recorded and comments are part of the public record, so please be conscious of that. And remember that you have 3 minutes to address the board. And please do not address personnel issues, and we ask you to be respectful. We have William Karen, who will speak to us for 3 minutes, and his topics are open meetings and school calendar.
Do I get 3 minutes for each? Or
Total. Speak quickly. Come up to the microphone so that any...
Two separate ones, because I had two different topics, but I don't think that's possible.
Sure.
I'll try to make it.
Okay. But we need you to speak into the microphone so that anyone listening can hear your concerns. They may also have the same concerns. Thank you for coming.
All right. Okay, yeah, thank you. It's see how I do it first time up here. So anyway, I think just a quick introduction. My name is William Karen, and I've been sitting in the back this year. Just a quick qualifications. I have a engineering background in mechanical and aerospace engineering. I also have a state of Utah professional educator license with a Math 4 and Physics 2 endorsements. I have 4 children, 3 in the district, and I'm a homeowner and a taxpayer, so I have a lot of vested interests here. So anyway, my first comment is on the public comment period, and I guess which has kind of come to my attention and is there's a lot of fantastic conversations up here, and I feel like without a crystal ball, it's very hard to have feedback in a timely fashion, and I find I typically have to wait 2 weeks to come in and provide feedback from the 2 weeks prior. And, it seems like that could maybe be improved somewhat. Then by the time 2 weeks goes by, it rolls off and you forget and you're just busy with life. So anyway, I was looking into it a little bit, and, it's perfectly acceptable the way it is, and I'm willing to wait 2 weeks if I have an important comment, which I did this time. And I looked through the legislation, and in the Open and Public Meetings Act, it's perfectly fine according to that. But an interesting thing that I did find is in the current legislature in House Bill 21, they're proposing an amendment which was 10 voted for and 0 voted against. And what they're trying to add is Section 3 and 52.4.201, Section 3, which is a public body holding a meeting that is open to the public shall allow a reasonable opportunity for the public to provide verbal comment during the meeting. And we're doing that now, but I think the intent is with this amendment to have a better active engagement, not a 2-week delay. So anyway, I don't have a criticism. I think everybody's doing a fantastic job. I'm just providing an opportunity that maybe it's something to be proactive about. If the legislation passes and they say, it enacts in a year from now, it might be something to consider to show the public and the stakeholders in the community that you're progressive and forward thinking about that, and invite public comment. And anyway, that's just trying to think that through a little bit, just from my perspective. That is really what I had on the public comment section. The other comment I had was on the school calendar, which was discussed last week, and everybody did a great job. Tim did a great job. And a couple just quick comments on the calendar. First, there was a survey given to parents, which I appreciate, and unfortunately, the information wasn't until you went into the survey, and it might be helpful for parents just in the future to have that information up front. Some parents might not click on the survey and even go into the survey, so a lot of that useful information could have been provided up front, I thought. Another thing, once I went into the survey, it said requirements for each school year, and it was a little bit misleading, and I looked into it, and the requirements is 180 days in school, and that's R277419-5, 1A. Now, in R277-419-5, 6B, it says you're allowed up to 3 days for parent-teacher conference. And then there's another one, 53F-2-102, 4DI, which says you're allowed up to 4 days professional development, teacher prep. So we're going down from 180 minus the 7 days to 173. And nothing wrong. It's all legal and stuff like that. I'm just, I've sat in here, I've listened to some surveys, Y2 Analytics, and I've heard about, bonds and trying to get public trust and build public trust. And I'm just thinking out loud as that, from a parent perspective, although you're legally allowed to reduce the requirement of 180 days by 7 days, I think the intent should be to do as much as you can to reach the 180 days. We've had a rough couple of years. I think just this last week, I just printed off, KSL has analysis. Kids lost equivalent of a third of a school year's learning to pandemic. Another one in Bloomberg, half of U.S. public school students lag behind, report says. The intent is that kids are a little bit behind, and I think taking the maximum amount of days required by law is not showing, again, that public trust. So it's just an opportunity when you're putting forth the calendar that perhaps instead of saying we're taking the maximum allowed not to teach your children, turn it around. And this is an opportunity to perhaps turn it around and say, hey, maybe we're taking only 6 days, not 7 days, because we really care about your children. We want to get them up to speed. We know everybody in the community sacrificed and worked hard through the pandemic, and just an opportunity there. So just those are my 2 comments, just some observations. I appreciate everything everybody does here, and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Karen. We appreciate you being conscientious enough to come to our meetings, because as you can see, you are one of few who stay for the business part.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to talk with Tim or Gary again?
No, it's okay.
About these issues? Okay. Next is our consent agenda, and I will take a motion on the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as printed. Is there any discussion or question on this? Seeing none, we will vote on passing the consent agenda as printed.
Voting is closed, and the motion to approve the consent agenda passes unanimously.
Thank you, Jared. On our action agenda item, we have one item on the agenda, and that is the 2023-2024 school calendar.
I have a couple of comments just before you decide if you're taking action on that this evening. We presented information on the calendar last week. I mentioned that one of the areas that we received a request on was moving the fall break a week earlier. We did make that change in the calendar, so that officially shows on the 12th and 13th, and I think Larry took a call from another patron who suggested that, so I think that's a good move. Then we match Logan, Box Elder, and Bridgerland spring or fall breaks instead of USU's, but I think that'll serve us better. And then I just wanted to make a couple of comments. I appreciate William's feedback on the calendar. One of the things that the Cache County School District prided itself on for years was not taking those 4 days out of instruction for teacher preparation or teacher professional development. And we did feel very strongly as a school district and had it as a badge of pride that we valued student instruction. And so is it hard for us to take those 4 days? Absolutely. And I just wanted a short explanation to the board and to William of why we did that. The 2 transition days between trimesters was a strong request that we've had for years from our teachers. That was the first spot where we took those 2 days. But the last 2 days that we took were for teacher professional development. If I could quantify the amount of state training that our teachers are required to do each year, it's somewhat staggering from what it was just a decade ago. And this year they intended to add 6 more hours of training there from the state that they didn't materialize, but is supposed to materialize next year. In addition, Gary's teachers, all of his K through 3 teachers are required to do 11 days of professional development for the next 3 years. 2 years. 11 next year. Those professional development days have been instrumental in helping him justify at least 2 of those days that he could help with his teacher's professional development over that time. So those have been valuable to the district. But I concur that there may be a time that we would want to look at maybe reducing that number back down depending on what happens with our professional development needs. And I would totally concur with what Mr. Karen said on that. I think he's absolutely right. So.
And without exception, that's how we all feel. And we've been very, very, very reluctant to take any days out of the student calendar. But our teachers are just buried. And so we appreciate what you said. And you're absolutely right. At some point in the future, we probably will add days back in when the training requirements aren't so stiff for teachers.
Okay, with those explanations, I will take a motion on this action item.
I make a motion to accept the 23-24 school calendar.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the 23-24 recommended school calendar, which is option 1 of the 3 presented. Any more discussion from the board?
I would just like to say that Bridgerland Technical College is very appreciative that we changed the fall break so it aligned with Logan and Box Elder, because that makes their situation at Bridgerland a lot easier to deal with. So they thank you for doing that. So.
Thanks, Roger. Anyone else? All right, thank you. It's been moved and seconded, so we will vote on passing the 2023-24 school calendar, option 1.
My vote is yes.
Okay, I'll mark that for you.
Okay, thanks.
Voting is closed, and the motion to approve the recommended 2023-24 school year calendar passes unanimously.
Thank you, Jared. Next is our reports, the reports section of our agenda. Thank you, Tim, for all your work on the calendar. Thanks, Kathy. On the reports agenda, the first item is the monthly financial report given by Jared.
And I see Jeff's leaving. Is that coincidental? All right. I've included in your board packet the financial report for January. Our numbers balance out for the month, which is always great. And just a couple of things I wanted to mention about where we are as of the end of January financially. Our property taxes from the anticipated budgeted amounts from our certified tax rate are about 82% collected. We generally will get a fairly large payment in about March from the county that will round out that 82% to somewhere in the upper 90s for those collections. Our business staff spent a lot of time in January producing tax forms that were required to send out for the year end, such as W-2s and 1099s and evidence of medical insurance and things like that all of you are accustomed to getting. So just my appreciation to the staff for the efforts in doing that. That's a large undertaking. We're also glad to have the project at North Cache Middle School completed. That was done with the parking lot and the new field on the east side of the building there. That project is one of 3 or 4 that we're using the one-time legislative capital funds to complete because there's a big safety component in that project. So we're glad to have that finished up. If you're interested as a board, I'm not expecting that we'll have a tax refinancing project this spring like we have the last couple of years, primarily because interest rates have gone up enough that there just isn't a savings there anymore. And if interest rates stay or continue to increase, we probably wouldn't have a tax refinancing for a while. The other thing I wanted to mention is that towards the end of December, 1st of January, we moved to a new sweep account for the district. Our general banking account sweeps every night into what's called a sweep account and generates interest earnings. And just in working with our bank, we recognized that with a different type of sweep account, we could improve our interest earnings. So we moved to that account, and we're already seeing additional interest earnings because of that. So that is my report, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. That was very interesting.
That was
report,
interesting.
Jared.
Thank you.
As interesting as financial stuff can be, right?
Financial stuff is important, and it is interesting. I had a question, but it left me. How is your popular report coming?
It's very close, Terry. I know I keep saying that. We're just finishing up the school fees audit, and Tim's put a lot of time into that. Our schools have as well. I anticipate that by the end of the month, we'll have it ready to go. I have had a couple of people mention that the term popular financial report just kind of sounds silly, and I agree. So maybe we'll term it something else, but that's actually the name of the report that the Government Finance Officers Association came up for it, but we'll see. But we're very close.
You could call it a public or a report for the public or something like. All right, thank you for that report. Board member reports. Anyone? Larry? Randall? Roger? Kathy? Nope. Okay, president report. I was asking Jared about his popular report because I was reviewing minutes from our board meeting, our board retreat last year, and reviewing the goals that the superintendent set and Jared set and we set as a board. And that popular report was Jared's goal for this year, and I know he's been super excited about it, so I'm glad it's going well. And the superintendent's report was to increase safety, and look at that. All of our elementaries now have cameras and buzzers at their doors. Thank you for working on that. And our board goal was to, one of our board goals was to increase or to close the loop on communication. I have tried this year to make sure that you all are copied in on any kind of information that I receive pertaining to the board from patrons or anything else that would affect our decisions in the board. So I hope that is helpful and not annoying to get so many emails from me. But in an effort to accomplish that, help accomplish that goal for our board, that's what I'm doing. So I hope that's not too annoying. But
I appreciate it.
Okay. Especially when you get a audit and fraud report.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Last, we have the superintendent report.
And I think I have sandwiches coming at 6:30, and we'll be well into the report. So,
ham and cheese salads?
Pete, yeah, we're coming out of Frederico's. I really, as far as school safety goes, we had the resources in order to do those things, and that was a group effort on behalf of spending that money. But the project up at North Cass was a really, I think, timely project, and Lauer Foods is a wonderful company to work with. And for every dollar we spent, we probably got much more value out of that project than any one we've done. And the school issue of kids crossing that road through buses and all kinds of things just needed to happen. And I know when we first looked at it, we thought we could never level that field, that hill behind the school. But if you get the right equipment, you can do almost anything. I love that we're honoring super supporters of public education. And I'm asking one more time, we've got 4 more months to go. And if you have somebody that you would like to nominate, we have not contacted everybody yet. So there's still room to add people. So if we've missed somebody, or if you can think somebody, Emily has a list that she's working from. And we have just had a wonderful opportunity to sit down for an hour or so with each one of these people and have them tell us about their involvement with public education. And I really want to keep the public in there because I think our state needs to hear good things about public ed. And I just appreciate the opportunity that the board's allowed to honor those people who have helped this district become what it has become. So thank you.
You're welcome. I think all of you have put your people for the stakeholder group on the spreadsheet, right? So it's the 2 who are missing who I need to talk to. Okay, I'll follow up with them later. Anything else? Okay, seeing we have reached the end of our agenda, we will adjourn.
Thank you.